G'day. I'm making this video as a testament to some rather weird events that happened in my life. A lot of people probably won't believe it, but fuck it, here it goes anyway. I was sitting in my house in Westminster about 17 years ago in the summer of 1997. During January, a large explosion happened outside my house. It wasn't that large, I guess, in the scheme of things, but it was big enough to startle me anyway. As I sat there, I noticed the power lines had exploded. The power was out. It was all gone. There was nothing on. I sit there, I get a cold shiver down my spine. I feel something's not right about this. And my TV comes on. The rest of the power stays off. A dull light comes on in my living room. Comes up with a message on the screen. Shows an old Sega Mega Drive game from the 90s. It's called Desert Storm, I believe. And it shows a helicopter getting blown out. It shows a helicopter blowing up a church. It shows the following message underneath: stop the war before it begins. Now, I'm not a CIA guy, I'm not ASIO, I'm just a fucking ordinary bloke. I don't want to speculate on who sent it or where it came from, but it was just there anyway. But we'll get into that in the next few weeks, what happens. A few weeks later, I'm having all these weird dreams about the end of the world, the Antichrist and whatever. And I notice a large group of strange vehicles in my town. I'm getting a lift home from my dad's work, where I'm doing work experience. And I notice a large number of utes, courier cars, buses, empty buses, all these empty buses. And I'm wondering what the hell is going on here. This isn't right, this is like the start of an invasion or something. And I wonder if it had anything to do with the message I received on my TV screen. So I panic. I steal a car. Happens to be there with the keys in it, right there when I needed it. So I grab it, I steal it. I crash into one of the most powerful businessmen in Perth, accidentally, mind you, but right one of his Jaguars off. I'm arrested. I'm taken to East Perth Police Station. At East Perth Police Station, I'm asked why I did it, whatever the usual questions. And I say, look, there's strange vehicles in town, there's this description. As I'm repeating myself through what I'm saying, a commissioned officer walked in, one of the metal brass or whatever, a senior police officer. And he said, the fascist black brigades, I knew they were in town. I said, who are the fascist black brigades? I've never heard of the one world government or whatever you'd like to record to being referred to that. But anyway, he said they were going to have to put me in a bulletproof car to get me over to the jail section of the lockhouse. As I was in the interview room, the official police station, and the lockhouse was next door. They said they'd have to put me in a bulletproof car because the guys I described to them were waiting outside the police station. So I get down there, they've got a blanket over my head, so a sniper can't get a shot, I guess. And that's the funny thing. As I get out, as we pull out onto the street, sure enough, the guys were there in one of the courier cars. Were waiting outside the police station, just as I told the police. They told me to keep my head down, not to invoke them, but I was in a rage at the time, so I gave them the old finger sign and told them to get fucked and shook my hands at them. So then I'm brought into the jail section of the police station. I'm brought into all these senior police officers or whatever. A lot of them, the commissioned officer explains to me of connections with ASIO and the CIA or whatever. One of the police officers then tells me that smoking man off the X-Files, he exists, and I'd watch your back if I was you. I didn't really take much notice of it at the time. I was too amped. I was ready for a fight. So then pretty much put in a mental hospital for the next 3 months. I'm given a wide range of drugs that the doctors can't figure out why they're having no effect on me. But that's what happens when you're a sane person in one of these places. The drugs don't actually have an effect on you. They won't actually work. They only work on the mentally ill. So they couldn't figure out why, assuming I was just another crazy person. sorry, got a lot to speak. So, I get on with my life. I get married, I have kids, and also the day after I'm in the mental hospital. Like I said before, what was going on. It was reported on the corporate hall media that the world's richest people were in town the day after the incident happened. And they were hiring people from around the area because they felt threatened about the possible threats on their kids or whatever. So they were hiring out specialist people to protect them that were being trained down south. And no one knew why they were in town. The corporate hall media didn't really go into it much. They just said that they were in for a meeting, a secretive meeting or whatever. But the point is, they had no right to flush my fucking life down the fucking drain. They're up to something bad. They were bringing in military equipment into my city, and nothing got mentioned. It wasn't mentioned in the mainstream media. It wasn't mentioned in the alternative media. It was just buried under the fucking carpet. And I find I'm pissed about it. There's going to be more to this story, so tune in for part 2.